Hello, my name is Worthy, a professional Valorant coach. If you're looking to climb the ranks and improve your overall gameplay, you definitely want to leave a like and a sub, and enjoy the video. So this first round actually is a great talking point about IGLing. You can have conversations right away with people, try to get to know them a little bit, see if they're going to be willing to talk, and then asking questions, asking open-ended questions typically will help gauge the conversation a little bit and get them moving.
All right, I guess we're going A.
Just tell me what you think. How do you feel?
Sarcasm.
Yeah.
Sarcasm.
And that could already start to get the energy snowballing in the wrong direction right away, right? So we want to make sure that we're as positive as can be with all tonality. And one of the things that I recommend is to, first of all, control reactivity with. What I want you to focus on, a really quick fix, is just open your mouth. Open your mouth a little bit wider. Your tonality is more free. If you keep it closed, you murmur like this. Some people can take your tone the wrong way. And you're in a situation where you're on an eco, so being spaced out properly to be able to get the actual frag is really, really important to get any kind of value in these rounds, right? We're about to see it right here. So you actually do a really good job of spacing yourself to create an opportunity to trade this Viper. Now, if you look at the situation, where do you think Jet is shooting, or who do you think Jet is shooting?
Viper.
When he's shooting the Viper, you're gonna have a ton of time to be able to shoot back. Here's the thing, and this is the mentality you need to have. First of all, in this round, it is an eco round for us. Whenever you're on eco, we need to work under an assumption. And an assumption is that we're going to probably lose the round. The reason being for that is that we have a massive disadvantage when it comes to guns. They have way more financial ability than we do to purchase anything. And I'm not saying that you can't win these rounds, right? But if you change the mentality of how you're playing the round to, we're probably not going to win, it'll change the mentality of how you play your fights and how you play the situations. And that could lead to a win more of the time. You need to take as much time as possible to make sure you hit your shots. Just take your time. You have absolutely no reason to stress out. It is an eco round and you're not being shot at. Take your time, land the shot. Okay. Same thing could be happening here. You could be trading off this Sage and just getting another kill. And you got 2 kills. That would have been a really good victory for us. On eco round, we have to establish a bare ass minimum for ourselves. Our bare ass minimum is a small victory that will lead to bigger victories in the future. This buy you're about to do is rough. Do you know why?
I'm putting myself in a very bad situation for the following round.
Correct.
Yeah, with the guns that the other team would probably have next round.
Now, the other thing too is that we need to consider the map that we're playing on as well. Spectre fucking blows on this map. No question about it. There's no fighting this on any of the comment sections. Spectre sucks at long range, right? There's been numerous situations where I've seen students take long range fights with Spectres and they hit the guy 5 times in the body for 70 damage. At least in this range, right? I think there's definitely a function for it in certain situations, but definitely not in this range in this fight that we're going to be taking. I think your number one thing before you can queue ranked again is you need to go into deathmatch and just work that shit. That is like that is your bread and butter. I often say rifles will score you frags, but sheriffs will win you championships. Your level of impact on your eco rounds will drastically increase your win percentages. You're in a brilliant spot. You're in a brilliant spot to make this happen. Oh no. Too bad. He made the right play by pushing through.
I told my team that the KO was still pushing flank, and that's what I was frustrated. But I mean, like you said, I can't control what they do.
I understand your frustration, but we need to remember what this round is, right? If we go back to the buy phase, look at what we're all buying. Right? This round is already doomed. Basically an eco round. It's a force buy, but it's basically an eco round. You gotta think of it like that. And what was my rules with eco round?
We're gonna lose it anyway.
We're probably gonna lose. This one's all about calm, okay? And this one's about stopping people from overheating. What is it we need to be communicating to help people stop overheating? And like I said, people are gonna do what they're gonna do, even if we say that, you know, you shouldn't be doing things. By the way, Sage has been playing here a lot, right? So there's been no change here. This is something that's like important. We've seen 2 people down on A. It's been Viper and KO. That means it's been consistent. Fade and Jet. So what is their setup right now, just so we have a mental projection?
2-1-2.
2-1-2, exactly. And I've seen that set up several times, so we can take advantage of this. You want to be thinking about these things when you're on T-site, because it's going to help you better understand what bomb sites you need to hit and how much time it's going to take for people to rotate who you're going to be seeing first, all these different things. You do not need to be inside right now. You can be playing back here and just holding this lane. Whenever you're in post plant, you need to be thinking about controlling lanes into the bomb site. There's 3 lanes. There's McDonald, there's the B connector, and then there's B main. So if you're back here, you basically control B main, you control window, all this stuff. So they don't your team never has to worry about people coming from behind. They just need to look at these 2 lanes, which makes it a lot easier for them to hold bomb site. But as soon as you go back in there, now you've created 1, 2, and 3 potential angles that they can run from. Does that make sense? And that's where things end up going wrong on post plant a lot of the times. 6. This one's a scoreboard assessment. What is the most useless piece of information on your scoreboard?
My KDA.
Yeah, beautiful. So we're just going to scratch this right out because it doesn't matter at all. What are we looking for on this particular round? If we're making a projection on what is it they're going to do, what do you think is our biggest threats and things that we need to worry about?
Jet ult, possible op,
yeah,
and Sage ult, remembering where you killed whoever you killed, so you know.
Yeah, Sage ult isn't a direct threat, but it's definitely something that we want to be mentally prepared for, especially in a clutch situation, because that can all of a sudden, that 3v3 setup might be a 3v4. So it's not a direct impact right away, but it's definitely something to just be a little bit aware of as a potential. This is going to be your first major infraction. If you do this again, there will be hell to pay. I want you to watch the spy phase. Oh, you will be sorry. This is an inexcusable infraction. Do you know what you didn't do? You didn't press your fucking tab. Did not press your tab once. And when someone doesn't do this for even 1 singular round, I know right away you are pressing your tab for your KDA. That's the only reason why you're pressing your tab. And all other rounds, it completely eliminates everything. So I'm gonna ask you a question right now. What do you need to worry about this round? You don't fucking know. You have no idea what you're running into. You can look at the top and say, oh, well, I got some ults I have to worry about for sure. But you have no idea what their buying situation is. You have no idea if you're going to be running into an op. You have no idea who saved from the last round. Super important. Okay, so I want you to notice how you swing this. So in this situation, like we talked about before, the reason why the last flash peak was okay was because you had Omen trading off you. Right now, you don't have anyone. You could slice the pie better here. You can confirm this angle first and then confirm that angle, right? And if you confirm it better, your crosshair placement will be better. You'll probably get the first frag problem. The second guy might run away, but it is what it is. Okay, you get your 1 frag out of it. I want you to listen to what you say here.
Last player standing.
Crickets. Fucking crickets. Here's the difference between your rank and a Radiant or a Pro. What do you think they're saying in these situations?
Pillar?
They're saying everything under the fucking sun. They're literally talking and just spamming each other en masse. They're talking between each other and saying what I'm going to do, right? I'm going to swing 3, 2, 1, or peek on my contact, crossfire with me. What are you thinking? What do you want to do? I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that, right? It's action comms, and it is overly talk because it's a constant conversation, feedback, back and forth. This round is all about advanced awareness. So we talked about mental projection before. We've seen 2-1-2s before. We've seen where people are playing. What was the situation? Where have they been playing? It's been Jet and Fade towards A. We've had Sage in middle, and then we've had KO and Viper in B. So KO's in B. Okay, Sage is in middle. Nothing's changed. Now, here's the thing. You need to be mindful of what's happening. There's a lot of information, a lot of things that are going on and things that you're probably not picking up on. First thing I'm looking at right away is KO ult. Okay, we lost someone in mid. How many people are shooting through the smoke right now on your end? Two. One was picked in mid and he was kind of just lurking. That's giving us information as well. That's giving them information. Knowing that, and there's only 2 people left, that's going to give a ton of freedom. By the way, they know there's 3 people there because the dog just went over to the left, not the right, right? That's going to give them a ton of freedom to start moving around the map because they know it's probably a B take, right? So they're communicating that. So just little things like how many people are shooting through the smoke gives up information, gives up a ton of information. So there's a high chance of them being mid double doors right now. There's a chance they could have been pushed through T spawn. So the way that you need to now path is assume that everything past this line, this is our play area, just B main. So everything else beyond this line is now a threat based on how this round is played out so far. Especially at this point, there's probably someone in mid right now. They could be seeing someone in elbow. There's a chance. There's definitely someone who could be in T-spawn by now. They could be all over mid. Surprise, motherfucker. Right? They could be all over here. And we weren't ready for it. Everything that you do in the game has a cause
Yep,
and
it's me,
effect.
y'all.
Everything that you do in this game has a cause and effect. And the more that you play, the more you're going to pick up on these little things. How crazy is that? No? It was 3 seconds you knew where 3 people were. Right off the hop. 3 seconds into the round, you knew where 3 people were. Isn't that insane? How much information? How many people are they?
4.
4 for sure, because we've seen 3 at the beginning, and Fade just threw her eye in from A main. So we know there's 4A. Let's listen to how you communicate this round.
Enemy suppressed. Flash.
Now, thank God your teammates are actually kind of rotating, because you haven't said anything yet. You haven't said anything. And this is the learning, right? It's not a bad thing. We just need to understand where our flaws are and just make them better. So people are rotating and moving off of what is happening on A, but you could make them better. And this game is won on inches. The difference between getting a frag and not getting a frag is getting a person in the right position at the right time, the right second. And if you don't communicate, you ruin those opportunities for your team. You make them worse because of it. And once again, this peak is not bad. You know why? Because Omen's playing off, but then Omen's decides to throw.
Down A.
And then I just sat there crouching as well.
You were not ready for the fight again. I feel like you're rushing and you're emotionally invested in every single frag. That's the big thing, right? If your goal is to get better, then you need to start thinking about this intentionally. Okay, so what are you looking at right now?
I'm waiting for this Viper to push me so I can right click her in the face.
Cool. I think there's a high chance of that happening. Have you noticed anything on your mini map? Because if you're doing this properly, you driver's protocol right now. You should be able to know what's going on. You notice?
I have not noticed anything other than my teammate flanking.
Yes, your teammates are in a fantastic position right now. Cause some fucking havoc. So whenever I see a situation like where there's an opportunity and someone's flying, I'm gonna make a lot of noise. I'm gonna wave my hands out. I'm gonna say, hey, come over here. I'm over here. Pay attention to me. Look at me. It's that distraction effect that allows my teammate now to get in a much more better position, and I can communicate this. I'm like, Neon, you should be free. You should be free. You should be free. They're looking at me. They're looking at me. And you're shooting around. You're making noise. Funny thing, right? Because human beings are pretty fucking stupid when it comes to this game, right? They're really, really fucking stupid. It's kind of like I relate them to cats, right? Cats are very intelligent beings. But when you take a laser and you shoot the laser on the wall, what does the cat do?
Tries to attack the laser.
He goes right at the laser. He goes, holy fuck, there's a laser on the wall. And he chases after that laser. People in this game are the exact same thing as a cat, because the scoreboard tells them to, because they look at their KDA, there's a free kill in front of me and I want to go for this thing. Does that make sense?